DJ Perry. Pick me up when my best friend. I'm gonna love you forever, forever and ever, yeah man. Cause we've been through it all. You pick me up when I fall. You're my lover, girl, you're my best friend. Girl, I don't know about you, but I can't go another day without my baby. My best friend, she my lover. Girl, I don't know about you, but I will count my blessings. Girl, please know everything we've been through is just a lesson. Girl, I'm gonna love you forever, forever and ever, amen. Cause we've been through it all. You pick me up when I fall. You're my lover, girl, you're my best friend. And even though you heard a lot of things too, don't forget everything we've been through. I hope you know that I will never hurt you, baby girl. And yeah, I was a little bit toxic, but girl, you know this love is like magic. I hope you know that I just wanna love you, baby. I'm gonna love you forever, forever and ever, yeah man. Cause we've been through it all. You pick me up when I fall. You're my lover, girl, you're my best friend. Who can take this love away? Know that I am here to stay. I can't go a day without you in my life. I am never giving up. No, I am never giving in. As long as we're together, I'm alright. Girl, I'm gonna love you forever, forever and ever, yeah man. Cause we've been through it all. You pick me up when
Greetings and salutations one and all.
you're my best friend.
Welcome to the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It's real talk night.
Ever, yeah man.
And I want to welcome you wherever you're locked in from.
When I fall, you're my lover, girl, you're my
Those on TuneIn Radio on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. Big ups to you.
know about you, but I can't go another.
Big ups to the massive out of New Jersey.
My baby, my best
Locked in on NIE Radio with the
girl, I don't know about,
Motivator.
but I will count my blessings.
New Jersey's finest.
Please know everything.
Remember, you can catch him on Thursdays and Saturdays. Thursday nights at 7 p.m.
Gonna love you for
Saturdays at noon Eastern.
forever and ever, amen.
Big up yourself, Motivator.
Cause we've been through it all. You pick me up when I fall.
I want to say big ups to the massive out of Long Island, New York.
Best friend.
Locked in on Reggae Pulse Radio.
And even though you heard a lot of things too,
DJ Atomic Force on the crew.
everything we've been through, I hope you know that I will never hurt you, baby.
Much love to the massive locked in out of South Florida.
But girl, you know this love is like magic.
Checking in with ClintonLindsay.com on the Foundation Radio Network.
Gonna love you
Mr. Lindsay,
forever,
enough love, sir.
forever and ever, yeah man. Cause we've been through it
I
all.
want to say blessings to those who are locked in on PEMGTV.com.
You're my lover, girl, you're my best friend.
Those on Zeno FM.
Who can
Those on Clubhouse.
no
Bubbling in the stew pot.
say
Welcome.
and go a day without you in my life.
If you're on Facebook Live.
I am never giving up,
Yeah, some of you know it as Facebook Live.
giving in.
Welcome.
Long as we're together, I'm
Those locked in on YouTube Live, big ups to you.
ever,
Those right here at the home of the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew.
ever, yeah man.
KevinStew.com.
Cause we've been through.
So glad to have you, couldn't do it without you.
Pick me up,
And you have my word, I wouldn't even try.
my lover, girl, you're my best friend. Girl, I don't know about you, but I can't go another day.
I want to say thank you to my segment sponsors.
My best friend, she my lover. Girl, I don't know.
Pulse Media Group and Big in the Moment is priceless. Go ahead and get them a call. They'll take care of your videos,
Everything,
your photos, your streaming, your advertising.
girl,
You have an event you want to stream live?
love you forever,
can call them up. See what I can do for you. You want to stream it live on a secure platform, whether yours or theirs.
You pick me up when I fall.
A church service, a graduation, a party, a funeral, a wedding, a seminar. You name it.
And even though you heard a lot of things, don't forget everything will be.
If you want to do something like I do,
I hope you know that
you want it to look like what I have right here on kevinstew.com,
I was a little bit,
you can talk to them.
but girl, you know
They can hook you up. They can even host your website. They host mine.
I just wanna
Call them up, 754-999-1140.
love you forever.
That's 754-999-1140.
And every
Tell them Kevin Stew sent you.
cause we've been through it all. You pick me,
Want to say thank you to Althea and Healing Heavenly Hands.
my lover, girl, you're my best friend.
Althea is a licensed massage therapist operating out of Broad County, North Miami-Dade, and South Palm Beach counties.
I am here,
She comes to you,
I can go out.
bringing her table, her oils, and over 20 years massage experience.
I am never giving up. No, I am never giving
She only has one request outside of paying her,
We're together.
and that is that you get off her table and go sleep somewhere else. It's called the Kevin Stew clause.
Love you
Yeah, I'm always falling asleep on her table. So call her up today, schedule your appointment, 954-655-9000.
forever and ever.
That's 954-655-9000.
Cause we've been through it all.
Tell her you heard about her on the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew.
You're my lover, girl, you're my best friend. Girl, I don't know,
Thank you to the Global Base.
but I can't go another day without my
The Global Base has over 30 years experience in the music industry.
girl. I don't know about you.
They do artist management and bookings.
Blessings.
They'll plan your event.
Everything we've been through is just
They do productions
girl.
and marketing and promotions.
Love you forever. Forever and ever. Amen.
Give them a call, 954-804-8199.
You pick me up when I
Or check them out at the Global Base. That's DA Global BASE.com.
and even though you heard a lot of things, don't forget
Call them up.
been true.
Check them out on the website.
You know that I will never
Let them know Kevin Stew sent you.
girl. And yeah, I was a little bit toxic, but girl, you know this love is like magic. I hope you know that I just wanna love
They're so good, they just did a booking for the Stylistics.
forever. Forever.
So call them up, they can do something for you. Want to say thank you to McNeil Trucking.
You pick me up,
McNeil Trucking is a veteran-owned, licensed and insured mover in the state of Florida.
best friend.
So you want to move from the Keys to Jacksonville,
This love away.
from Naples to Palm Beach,
Say,
from Pompano to Pensacola,
day when
and any point in between.
I
You want to put some things in storage?
giving up. No, I am never.
Give them a call.
As long as we're together, I'm all
You don't have manpower, you don't have transportation to do your move.
you forever.
You have the name, you have the number. McNeil Trucking,
Run,
954-406-9740.
cause we've been through it all.
With McNeil Trucking, your goods are in good hands.
You're my lover, girl, you're my best.
So just go ahead and give them a call today.
Cause we've been through it all. You pick me up when I fall. You're my lover, girl, you're my best friend.
Inviting to call a friend, tell a friend, friends of your friends, friends of your enemies, enemies of your friends, and your enemies too.
Hey, I can't go a day without you.
The conversation is good for everybody.
I am,
The information works with everybody.
I am never giving.
So you don't need to be stingy with it.
As long as we're together, I'm alright. Girl, I'm gonna love you
Of course, the phone lines are open,
forever.
as they will remain until the end of the broadcast.
Cause we're
Those of you that are watching, you'll see the number scrolling across the bottom of your screen right now.
you're my lover,
Those of you listening,
best friend.
the number is 773-789-STEW.
I'm so grateful.
That's 773-789-7839.
Cause we've been through it all. You pick me
You
up,
can call, you can text, you can WhatsApp, you can Telegram from anywhere in the world.
my best friend.
So you have no excuse, right?
Take this love away. Know that I am here to say I can go.
And if you want to jump into the stew pot, you can do that too.
I am never giving.
Those of you wondering what the stew pot is,
Never giving.
it's what others call a chat room. If you visit kevinstew.com,
I'm alright.
you're right there. It's where we keep things interactive and bubbling.
I love you forever.
So come on over.
Forever.
jump into the studio part, you can remain anonymous. You can put your name so that we can get a little bit closer.
You pick me up when I fall. You're my lover, girl, you're my best friend.
I want to say thanks to Stig the artist.
I'm so grateful.
The track is called Love You Forever. Yeah, that's what we kick off tonight with.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
And we're talking about
I'm so thankful.
a timeline to love.
Girl,
and we talk about the timeline to love because
we've been through it all. You pick me up when I fall.
there's a question of how long it takes to fall in love. Hey, Karel.
Who can take this love away?
How are you, my dear? It's been a minute.
I can't go a day without you in my life.
I need to link up, yeah?
I am never giving up. No, I am never giving in. As long as we're together, I'm alright.
Now, if you have an idea of how long it should take to fall in love,
Never,
you know, I want you to let me know how you feel about it.
never, amen.
Do you believe in this love at first sight thing? Do you believe in love at all?
I fall. You're my lover, girl, you're my best friend.
You know, I want to know. What are your thoughts on it? Had a few discussions with a few people today on the subject.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
And one of them said, hey, wait a minute, hold on. Hold the most dangerous part of the cow.
Girl,
What is this love thing anyway? And I was like, you know, I've talked about love on this broadcast so many times. Have I really defined what love is? Or do we all just take it for granted that we know what love is? You know, there's a song, I want to know what love is. I'm not going to try to sing it because then y'all will stop listening, right? So everybody knows that tune. And I don't know how many people actually have stopped to ask the question, what is love? So I did a little bit of a search and I came up with something. So according to Very Well Mind, and of course, you know, I like getting my information from the psychiatrists and psychologists. So Very Well Mind says, when it comes to love, some people would say it is one of the most important of human emotions. Yet, despite being one of the most studied behaviors, it is still the least understood. For example, researchers debate whether love is a biological or cultural phenomenon. And you would really have to stop and think about it, because is it a nurtured thing or is it a natured thing? Love is most likely influenced by both biology and culture. So it's a little bit of both. Although hormones and biology are important, the way we express and experience love is also influenced by our personal conceptions of love. So for different people, it's different things. Now, what are some of the signs of love? Researchers have made distinctions between feeling and liking and loving another person. So you have the feelings of liking them, you have the feelings of loving them, you have the feelings of even dislike for them. And so whereas I've definitely addressed what hate is, we haven't really gotten into what love is. So according to psychologist Zig Rubin, romantic love is made up of 3 elements. There is attachment, there's caring, and there's intimacy. Attachment is needing to be with another person and desiring physical contact and approval. Caring is valuing the other person's happiness and needs as much as your own. And intimacy, well, this is sharing private thoughts, feelings, and desires with the other person. Notice that they didn't talk about sex when they referred to intimacy. A friend of mine refers to it as into me see. And I think that must be the best definition or description of intimacy that I've come across to date. Now, based on this view of romantic love, Rubin developed two questionnaires to measure these variables, and they're known as Rubin's scale of liking and loving. Whereas people tend to view people they like as pleasant, love is marked by being devoted, possessive, and confiding in one another. Now, the possessive part is where I believe things get a little bit hairy from time to time, because that's when you get into the fatal attraction, basic instinct thing. You know, they feel like, hey, I own you, so you need to be with me. Carol says everyone's love journey is different. We're talking about love or in love. Well, Carol, is there a distinction between the two? Is there a real distinction between the two? Talk to me. And of course, you can call me, right? Pick a number. The number you know, or this one, 773-789-STEW. Choose. Just give us a ring-a-ling on the ding-a-ling. So the possessive nature of love can cause problems. Now, not all forms of love are the same, and psychologists have identified a number of different types of love that people may experience. These types of love include friendship. This is the type of love that involves liking someone and sharing a certain degree of intimacy. Right, so now we're getting into varying degrees of intimacy, not saying that it is all one type or one way. Then you have infatuation. This is a form of love that often involves intense feelings of attraction without a sense of commitment. It often takes place early in a relationship and may deepen into more lasting love. So this one here, I guess if it doesn't deepen into the lasting love, is the one that you can get with the friends with benefits, I guess. Yeah, that one. Well, I can't think of anything else. If you can, go ahead and share it with me, but that's as close as I can come with it to give you an idea. Then you have passionate love. This type of love is marked by intense feelings of longing and attraction. It often involves an idealization of the other person and a need to maintain constant physical closeness. Then you have compassionate or companionate love. And this form of love is marked by trust, affection, intimacy, and commitment. Then there's unrequited love. Now this one is recognized by everyone and not so often looked at. This form of love happens when one person loves another who does not return those feelings. Now, it doesn't mean that love doesn't exist. It just means that it isn't reciprocated. Here's the thing that I look at when I look at that kind of love. Here's how I see it. If you love someone unconditionally, then does it matter if you get it back? If you truly, truly, truly love someone, does it matter how they feel about you? Because at the end of the day, it's your feelings, right? So here now you end up with a situation where you have these feelings and you ask yourself the question, do I tell this person that I have these feelings for them? Now, if you have a feeling of love for someone, it leads to asking the question, do I tell this person? What if they don't feel the same way? Especially if you're not interacting the same way. Do you tell this other person that you love them? Me, I ask the question, why not? If it is an experience that you are having, why is it such a big deal for you to share that experience? It doesn't mean that they have to commit to you or you have to commit to them in my book. It means that you are having this particular experience and you're sharing that you're having this particular experience. So whatever it was that they were doing, they don't need to change it because you're already there. Now, if you tell them and something changes, now you have to wonder, is my love for them going to remain? Are they putting on a show just to get what they were getting before? Is there something that they want from me? Carl said, you can love someone and not, you can love someone and not be in love. In love means you can't live without each other. All right. So that is the more passionate love, Carol? Yes? Are you, so you love someone, but you're not in love with them? We're talking about the types of love here. We're talking about, I guess, friendship love versus the compassionate love. I've always heard people talk about that. Boy, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. So I care about you, but I don't love you. I'm concerned about you, but I don't love you. And because the English language is so limited, we often, those of us who speak English, don't really have a way of truly expressing ourselves when it comes to certain things. And love happens to be one of those things, if you ask me. So here you have as Carol is saying, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. What does that mean? Where does that put someone? And when you tell someone that, what expectation do you have? If you have one. Now, I've told people that I love them without expecting anything from them. And I've learned to tell people, I love you in spite of you. Now, sometimes I put the you on the end, or just said, I love you in spite of, and just leave it there, which covers in spite of what you do, in spite of who you are, in spite of whether or not you love me back. It's just in spite of. So that puts me in a position where I can love you unconditionally. Do you have to do something in return? No. You don't even have to like me. If I love you, it's because you have done something, you have some characteristics, you have some qualities. There's something that I just love about you that has caused me to love you. Now, what you want to do with that, that's entirely up to you. The same way it came, I also believe it can go. So, depending on how you decide to navigate receiving that love, it can also go away. Now, I am one that tends to love for a long period of time. So it doesn't really matter what you do. The love will still be there. How I operate within the confines of that love may change, but love is still there. I'm friends with the majority of my exes. Does it mean that I'm going to rekindle a relationship with them? Some of them I would. Some of them, no. But I still care about them. So the caring love exists. Now, there is a thing called the triangular theory of love. And psychologist Robert Sternberg developed this well-regarded theory in the early 1980s. Some of you might be familiar with that period of time. Some not so familiar. Cool. You hear stories, it's all good. Much research was built upon his work and demonstrated its universality across cultures. Sternberg broke into three components: intimacy, passion, and commitment, that interact to produce 7 types of love. Your friendship love, your infatuation love, your empty love, romantic love, compassionate love, fatuous love, and consummate love. And they have some common components. Some of them have some unique components to them. Some researchers suggest that love is a basic human emotion, just like happiness and or anger, while others believe it is a cultural phenomenon that arises partly due to social pressures and expectations. Here we go again with the expectations. What's supposed to happen if this love exists? And researchers have found that romantic love exists in all cultures, which suggests that love has a strong biological component. Or social media has taken over everything and has been doing it forever. We don't know. It's a part of human nature to seek out and find love, which is probably why they used to have the love boat. However, culture can significantly affect how individuals think about, experience, and display romantic love. You kind of wonder what happens in the cultures where they have arranged marriages. They, I guess, have a love for the continuation of their family name or the continuation of their family legacy. So some of these loves put people in their respective places, Carol. Cool, I get that. Now, how about as an individual in a relationship, you just let people know where they stand, versus trying to define it by a feeling. So I like you, so you're to expect that you can only go so far with certain things in my life, versus I love you, so you can have certain added liberties. Just tell people where they stand. Hey, listen, with you, I will do this, this, and this. And with you, boy, I am your playground. If that is what it is, then let it be known that that is what it is. And so, basically what I'm saying is that we really need to be interacting a little bit differently. We need to be aware of how we're interacting. A lot of us, we move away from paying attention to what we're experiencing. And we move away from trying to express that. Well, probably because we were never taught how to express that. We were never taught how to really get in touch with what we're feeling. And so we go with whatever culture says however culture says it's supposed to go, or whatever culture says we're supposed to say, or whatever we're supposed to do. Why? How exactly does culture play a role in how you experience your life? With what you do when you get home and you close your doors. What role does culture play inside those walls? And so this whole love thing now has all these facets to it and all these questions that go along with it. So I was checking here to see if anybody had asked me any questions on the chat line, and I see that they're quiet. I see you guys, some of you guys watching in, and you're quiet. I'm gonna take a quick break, and in this, when I come back, I am going to explore the whole thing about the time it takes to fall in love. So Carol, come on over to the website, kevinstew.com, and anybody else that is tuned in or watching from somewhere else. If you're on one of the affiliate stations, just stay where you are. If you're on Pulse Media, watching on PEMG TV, then you can stay right there. You're good to go. Those listening on NIE, those on the Foundation Radio Network, those on Reggae Pulse Radio up there in New Jersey, you guys are good where you are. If you want to watch and be more interactive, you can come to kevinstew.com also. You can stay where you are on YouTube Live. All right. A couple of things I do want to remind you guys about, though, as we take a quick break. The 783.90 challenge. And this is a method by which we could save some money throughout the year. Quick thing, easy. Save in increments of $10. Each month, you can, a quick way to do it, multiply that month by 10. So in January, we saved $10. Cool. We're good to go. It's a good start. In February, we saved $20. The month of the year, the second month, 2 times 10, $10 for that. So now we're at $30. Here we are in March, third month, we're putting away $30. So here it is, we're already at $60. By the end of the year, when we put on $120 in our savings, it may be a stretch for some people. I get it. But with this stretch, now you have saved $780 at the end of the year, which can be used towards a Christmas gift or to pay off some debt that you have amassed over time, whatever it is, or to start something, get the ball rolling for the new year. Whichever way you work it out, that's your $780, and then cut that in half. If you can't manage the $10, you do $5, and you apply it the same way. So at the end of the year, you have $390. It's called the 780-390 challenge. Get on board. Let me know where you're at. I am on. I'm in. If you can save in an interest-bearing account, even better. A high-yield interest account, go for it. And I also want you to go ahead and get your copy of the book. So the audiobook is out. It has been out for a while. It's called Empowered: Essential Concepts and Strategies Every Woman Should Know About Self-Defense. It's authored by Jonathan Field and narrated by yours truly, Kevin Stew. So check it out wherever it is that you get your audiobooks. You can check to see if they have it, but definitely it's on Amazon. And you can visit my website, kevinstew.com. There's a copy of the book cover there. You click on it and it takes you to exactly where you need to be to download your copy. It's called Empowered: Essential Concepts and Strategies Every Woman Should Know About Self-Defense. And if you want to take it a step further, you can get to know the author. I had him as a guest on this broadcast. So you can check the archives, which is right there also on kevinstew.com, and you can chit-chat with him. All right? Cool. We'll be right back.
Pulsey Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulsey Media Group.
Today in school, I learned a lot. I learned that no one likes me. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in physics, I learned that I'm a loser.
Today in school,
In math,
I learned that I'm ugly
I
and
learned that
useless.
I'm trash.
And in gym,
In biology,
I learned that I'm
I
pathetic
learned that I'm fat
and a
and
joke.
stupid.
In history,
Today in
I learned that
school,
I'm trash.
Today in school, I learned that I have no friends. In English, I learned that I make people sick.
And in
And
gym,
at lunch, I learned that I sit on my own because I smell.
and a joke.
In chemistry, I learned that no one
In
likes me.
biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid.
In English,
And in
I
math,
learned that I make people
I
sick.
learned that I'm trash.
The only thing I didn't learn in school today
The only thing I didn't learn today
The only thing I didn't learn,
Is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
Ladies, lovers of the music, it is here, the brand spanking new album from Ed Robinson and Ian Sweetness, a tribute to Teddy Pendergrass. Amazing. 10 blazing tracks, 2 amazing singers going hit for hit, classic for classic. A tribute to Teddy Pendergrass, Ian Sweetness, Ed Robinson. Oh, man. It's out now. Available everywhere. iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your music, it is there. A tribute to Teddy Pendergrass, brand spanking new, Ian Sweetness, Ed Robinson. Ladies, gentlemen, you've got to have this in your collection. Get it now. Available everywhere. Bruv, my last baby already gone off to college, mate. Is what this is send come gimme, man. Is a big album still, I love it. Big up Ed Robinson, Ian Sweetness, but this better come with a contraceptive.
Hey, I'm representing for DJ Kevin Stew, working on the night shift radio show. Won't go changing like the weather, just to please the devil never. Will DJ Kevin Stew sell his soul? That's a word and honor. It's Christine representing word and honor. Selassie DJ Kevin Stew.
Send roses by bottles of champagne. Your favorite, I'm great at keeping a promise. Wrote letters, 10 pages to tell ya I'm in it, I wanna stay. And I'll show you in every way. Skeptical still, I'm loving all you. And I'm super confused how my actions.
I want to say big ups to the massive locked in out of Brazil. Hey Dora, much love to you guys and the Radio Crystal Gospel family. If you're on Clubhouse and Facebook, this is where we're gonna part company with you guys. Come on over to kevinstew.com and any of the affiliates.
Takeout, stop binging on old films. Get dressed up, we go out. It's hard to make a choice. We're both indecisive. All I know, I'm in it, I wanna stay. And I'll show you in every way. You're skeptical still. Well, I'm loving all you. And I'm super confused how my actions don't convince you. You're skeptical still. So I'll be not you. You're not. If I loved you, you know you couldn't mistake it if you tried. If I loved you, you know you'd see it even if you're blind. It's bigger than the world, deeper than the ocean, harder than the sun. Know it when you know. So if I love you, you know. Told you I love you, I do. I never told you. I never told you I love you, I do. I never told you. It's easy to say, but harder to show you what I mean. So you just gotta believe me. You gotta believe me. I know you need me. When I say if I love you, you know. If I couldn't mistake it if you tried.
Music from Royce bringing us back from the break.
If I love you, you know.
The track is called If I Loved You.
Even if your blood is bigger than the world, deeper than the ocean, deeper than the ocean.
So here we are doing this love thing. How did we get here? How long did it take? Is there a specific amount of time that it takes to fall in love? Well, according to Women's Health, there might be a little bit of something to this. So, their article says, hey, listen, cue the eye roll every time some dude on The Bachelorette says, "I'm falling in love with you." For those of you that, you might enjoy watching that stuff. Some of you may not. But hey, it doesn't mean that it isn't there. It doesn't exist. It doesn't happen. We're talking about people that, after spending approximately 457 seconds with the leading lady, they're expressing this love. Now, here comes the question. Is that possible? Seeing this on TV every week is sure to make you question how long it takes for people to fall in love in real life. And if your relationship is on the right track is another question. Now, to be honest, it's not that easy as on some reality show on TV makes it look. Big shocker, right? And it's completely natural for you to wonder about the real timeline of falling in love. For many people, this curiosity, and that's probably what it boils down to, people just being really curious. This curiosity can come from a desire for outside validation that their romantic connection is developing at a normal pace. And I really want to air quotes normal here, because at the end of the day, what is really normal? Normal is as a result of however you navigate your space, right? It's or what 50.1% of the population deemed to be okay or right. That would be or acceptable. That is what would be considered normal. So this is what Shelley Sommerfeld, a clinical psychologist, relationship coach, and the founder of the Loving Roots Project, has to say. She says, they may want to compare their feelings, reactions, and experiences with others to ensure they are on a typical progression. Some partners may want to know how long it takes to fall in love to see if their partner should be feeling a particular way toward them as well. And this goes to what I was saying about the whole socialization or culturalization of the whole love thing. Now, of course, every relationship is different, and there's no right timeline that works for everyone. But still, you might want to know what to expect, especially in a new relationship, or if your new relationship, or if you're new to relationships in general, I should say. Now, here's the science behind falling in love. This is where it gets interesting, right? And the stats on how long it typically takes. Y'all ready for this? Because now we go down this rabbit hole that is really interesting. So, what kind of timeline we're talking about? How long does it take for people to fall in love? And is this a realistic timeline? Psychologically, you ready for this? It takes just 1/5 of a second for all those make you crazy chemical to fire at once and produce that in love feeling. You heard Carol. Well, I relayed Carol's message about being in love and loving, two different things. And so, how long it takes for you to get there? 1/5 of a second. Now we measure speed as it relates to seconds, right? So if you're talking about a quick second and it's gone, talk about 1/5 of that. That's how long it takes you to fall in love. And this is research published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine, uncovered nearly a decade ago. So a contestant on the famed TV show could be basing their feelings on that rush. Now, on the other hand, while it is technically possible to experience that in love feeling in less than a second, falling in love is still a process. I guess that's why it's always called falling. It's a continuous thing. There are different stages that we can go through when falling in love, building attachment, and ultimately forming a romantic relationship. Sommerfeld says it's a process to experience initial physical attraction towards someone and then grow into feeling a deeper and stronger emotional connection. So, what happens when it's someone that you've known for a long time and then you realize that, hey, you know, I get all tingly when I hear their name or when we're together, and, you know, things go differently when we're doing things together. What is this thing? Does that make a difference? The fact that you've known them for a long time and then these feelings start to change. So no, it's not a fifth of a second. What are we talking about? A lifetime? We're talking about years on the calendar. So how does that work? Or you get up one day and you suddenly feel that loving feeling towards this person. Is that the kind of split second thing that we're talking about? How long does the process typically take? Well, it depends. Men think about confessing their love, get this, 97 days into a relationship. While women don't consider dropping the L-bomb until 149 days in, according to a 2011 study in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology. And generally, in heterosexual relationships, men fall in love faster than women, per a study published in Evolutionary Psychology in 2010. Meanwhile, in relationships between two women, love or commitment is expressed after around 6 months. And this is according to a 2000 study. Sommerfeld believes these general timelines are actually accurate, although she notes that this isn't due to evolution or biology as much as social and cultural pressures. While our stereotypes probably still hold that most people believe women are first to fall in love, feel a greater degree of love, and express love quicker, the research does show that it is men in heterosexual relationships who are first to fall in love and convey it to their partner. And this is according to Sommerfeld. So, ladies, let me ask you this. In your experience with these loving relationships, who was the first to express love? Was it you or was it him? And I'm talking about ones in the heterosexual relationships. For those of you who are in same-sex relationships, which of you expressed it first? And I guess that may make it difficult for those who don't understand same-sex relationships to get a grasp of where you are when you answer that question. But again, the phone line is open if you want to share with me and share with us in general. I invite you to do so. 773-789-STEW. That's 773-789-7839. You can call, text, WhatsApp, Telegram from anywhere in the world, right? Live and in living color right now, you get to share your views. No judgment around here. This is a judgment-free zone. So if you want judgment, you need to go somewhere else to get it. And don't bring it here either. Now, it is also important to look beyond the gender binary with these stats, according to Lisa B. Schwartz, a PhD, LMFT, psychotherapist, certified sex therapist, serving clients in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and here in Florida. And Lisa says there is so much more than gender that goes into expressing emotion, especially around the love word. And she says these studies focus on the binary. You're wired for love, whether you want to or not. It's just how we're wired. The brain is naturally selected to focus on reproduction, even if you're not consciously intending to do so, says Loretta G. Bruning, a PhD and founder of the Inner Mammal Institute, professor emerita at California State University, and author of Habits of a Happy Brain. Retrain your brain to boost your serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphin levels. She says, your brain is focused on survival, and reproduction is the pinnacle of survival. Once you're falling, it feels good. It's the landing that is the problem. No, that's just me, but once you're falling, it feels good. And in fact, a culmination of several happy chemicals in your brain creates a sensation of euphoria that's akin to a hit of cocaine, according to some studies. Now, if you think you're falling hard, whether it's someone you've known for years or someone you went on one measly date or semi-date with, this is why it is happening. First, dopamine will surge in your brain, reinforcing pleasurable sensations. Bruning gives the example of walking into a bar and checking people out. You have a specific idea of what it takes to meet your needs based on past experiences, she explains. As you scan the room, you think, that one. And suddenly, the chase is on. And that's pretty much how it goes when you go bar hopping or you go out looking for something, right? You believe that you find it. The oxytocin, the love hormone associated with attachment, that comes into play. It helps bond you to a potential romantic partner. And women release it by the boatload after sex with a mate, and this helps with building trust. The last hormone involved is serotonin, which is sometimes generated from your partner's status. After all, animals are hierarchical. When you get an impressive or powerful partner, it improves the survival of your young, your offspring. This according to Bruning. And that is why you may be attracted to that winning athlete, the person with the cool job, or the person who is considered to be a jet setter. With all that said, the jury is actually still out on whether love at first sight really exists. Just over half, 56%, of Americans believe in love at first sight, while 41% do not believe in it, according to a 60-minute Vanity Fair poll from 2013. Whichever side of the debate you fall on, once you've fallen in your love, chemistry takes over for everyone. So, what happens after you fall into this state? What happens next? Where do you go? Well, maybe if you shake it up, shake things up and try to see what happens next, you might have a better idea. As you get to know each other, the person that you're experiencing this love with, dopamine is surging. And the anticipation that you can land this potential partner can give you the kick you need to start to emotionally invest. If they also have the right status, which now triggers the serotonin, and proximity as it relates to you, which stimulates the oxytocin, and you have positive expectations about the whole shebang, you'll get hit with all three hormones at once. And that's not something that happens all the time, but the result, when it does happen, is that you end up falling in love. Or what is considered to be falling in love. Now, if you've never been in love before, you may want some extra verification that you're feeling that can't eat, can't sleep, reach for the stars, over the fence, World Series kind of stuff. And after all, love is so hyped up that you may not know what to expect when you fall in love with someone. Or, as some would say, stand in love. Because you're sure about what you're feeling at that time, and you're sure about what you want out of it, and you're sure. So you're standing in that love, you're not falling in it. According to my Ras friends, right? Now you might also just feel the pressure to fall, according to Schwartz. She says some people think they have to they're supposed to say it at a certain point in their relationship. They're supposed to express that love. Now, while only you can determine whether you're in love, there are some signs that you can watch out for. There are some signs that you may be in love, could be falling, or could be feeling a strong desire to spend more time with your partner or potential partner. Be physically and emotionally connected to them, as well as an increased desire for intimacy and affection. Sommerfeld says, many people will also want to know more about their partner, their stories, their history. Unsurprisingly, you're going to want to be around your person 24/7. You're going to be craving knowing everything about their life. And Sommerfeld also says that some people notice themselves feeling happier overall and laughing and smiling more. So if this is a side effect of either being in love or falling in love, then wouldn't that make this world a better place? If we could all be in a state of love. Now, do we determine it? Or is it one of those things that just happen? And as we go about navigating this digital era, as we interact in a whole different way via digital connections and apps, does that play a role in the whole falling in love? So if you're dating and you're using an app to do it or a dating site to do it, does it change how quickly you can fall in love? Does it give it a boost? Does it retard it? What does it do? Well, we'll talk about it in a moment. We're going to take a quick break. Call up your friends, tell your friends, friends of your friends, friends of your enemies, enemies of your friends, and your enemies too, if you can drop a line to them. We're talking about love and the timeline to love. Is there a timeline that exists? Is it instant? Is it partially instant? Should you spend some time before you decide that you're going to be in love? Is it a decision? Is it a choice? Is it something that just happens and drags you along for the ride? I guess it depends on the person. We'll find out if dating apps helps in the process in just a moment. We'll be right back. Matt 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com, your links to worship and praise.
Making great music is one thing, sharing it with the world, that's another. Let the professionals at Reggae Global Entertainment help you to another level. Specializing in artist management, booking, public relations and marketing, and promotion, Reggae Global Entertainment can help you with event planning, websites, photography, and video production, press releases, legal services, and graphic design. They can even help you with music production, so you can get the sound that you want every time. Call Reggae Global Entertainment at 954-804-8199. That's 804-8199. Or visit them online at reggaeglobalentertainment.com.
MRE Entertainment, in association with VPAL Distribution, presents the brand new hit single.
I'm Robert French, and you're listening to my new song, Every Day of My Life.
Now available on all major digital platforms.
Every day of my life will be just loving you. Spend the rest of my life always and just loving you. Every day of my life will be just loving you. Spend the rest of my life.
When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it. Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulsemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.
Hey yo, this is Carman to let you know that right about now you are logged on to DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift. Don't move.
How is to show I'm committed to you and you alone. I know this world can make you doubt yourself. I'm the only mirror you need, girl. No one else. You are royalty. This was meant to be. You mean everything to me. I love the shape of your nose, the curl of your toes, the touch of your lips, the curves of your hips. I see open your smile, innocence in your eyes, most of all insincere. I love the natural look of your hair. I adore you, my dear.
I adore you, my dear.
All that I want.
Talk about some love.
You're all that
The sound of dangling new music from him. It's called I Adore You.
I adore you.
So is that another level up from love, or is that right there on par with love when you adore someone? You know, I don't even know. It's just more questions as I go along. Are you getting any answers?
You're all that I want in me. All that I want in me.
Either way, just know that I adore you, I love you, and I appreciate love you. Those of you that are sharing, thank you, thank you, thank you. Those of you that are locked in, much love to you. So, dating sites. Do these make a difference when it comes to the timeline to love, or the existence of a timeline, if one exists? Well, one thing we know is that they have changed the game. Now we view falling in love, the availability of meeting potential partners, how we seek love. We have all of these in a different light when it comes to dating apps. Somerville says, many couples spend time online getting to know one another and screening profiles for the traits they desire rather than spending a lot of time or a little time in person. In turn, this naturally changes the amount of time it would take for them to fall in love. But technology also adds another layer of pressure, that people think they are supposed to fall in love and do it quickly. And if they don't, they're on to the next person. Swipe left or swipe right. I don't even know which way you swipe. Which way you swipe when you're moving on? Enough time should be given to develop your connection, to make sure it becomes a trusting and respectful one at shorts, whatever that may look like to you. So now it's a customized experience. It's not what everybody else experiences. It's not a one size fits all. So is there a way to determine if it's love or it's infatuation? Now, love and infatuation have similarities. Both are based on intense feelings without thinking clearly. So the common sense, as according to someone that is very near and dear to me, says common sense gone out the window. And this may look like ignoring certain red flags or idealizing an individual. It turns out you can tell just from someone's eyes. According to a 2014 study from the University of Chicago, the study found that one's eye patterns will focus on a stranger's face if they perceive that person as a potential romantic partner. But if they're experiencing lust, they look more at the person's body. So let me make sure I get this straight, because they say men can't maintain eye contact because breasts don't have eyes. Generally, our eyes gravitate, as men, our eyes gravitate towards the chest. And we are ones to say, boy, I love your approach. But I'd love to see your departure also. We men have a tendency to do that, whether it is cultural or it is or animalistic instincts, whatever it is. So for men, does this also hold true that we're going to look more at the face? I hate to see you go, but I love to watch you leave, kind of a thing that men experience. Ultimately, it depends on the physiological response and depth of feelings towards the other person, according to Sommerfeld. Infatuation is typically an idealized love that can come from a fantasy or obsession over someone who may be unattainable or a short-lived relationship. It may involve temporary feelings based on admiration. Is there a timeline for that? Love, on the other hand, involves people building passion and having a commitment and affection for another person or the other person. Love is connecting on a deeper level and wanting to get to know a person more thoroughly. Partners in love also tend to share interests and values. So, how is it then that they say opposites attract? What are the opposites that attract if they are sharing these values and interests? And if you feel as though you want to experience sexual pleasure with someone and not necessarily be in a relationship, you're likely experiencing lust. This according to Schwartz. So, do we not lust when we are in love? Because that's that desire to be physically intimate with someone. And is that overridden, that lust overridden when love exists? Or does love come out of that lust because there has to be some kind of attraction that exists in the first place? What role does that play? How do you recognize that in your own experience? Because at this point, it really becomes a personal experience, as most things are. When we start generalizing and basing our experience off someone else's experience, how does that work for you? Yeah, you can live vicariously through people with some things. Love, I don't believe is one of them. Or even lust. Matters of the heart. You don't live vicariously through someone with matters of the heart. It cannot be do. So why are you trying to do it? Generally, it seems like young adults are looking for love rather than hooking up nowadays. And this is according to a 2022 study from the University of California, Davis. Researchers surveyed 208 heterosexual college students from a Midwestern college about their dating lives over 7 months. They discussed their likes, dislikes, and attractions. On average, participants had about 5 crushes during this period, and about 15% of them turned into relationships. So, what does that mean? Trial and error? Yeah, there's some lust, and some of it developed into something more. That just means that there's some kind of a superficial connection that happens initially. And when you get to know a person a little bit more, it gets a little bit deeper, or not. There are some people that I'm pretty sure many of us have come into contact with and just thought, boy, I just want one time. I don't want a lifetime, just one time. And that's it. And if you're honest with yourself, you've had them. I think at some point in time we've all had them. Being swept up in the feelings that you have for another person is quite extraordinary. But it can also be frustrating. You may start worrying whether this person will reciprocate these feelings, or if you'll ever get that uncontrollable type of love that you see in the rom-coms. Even though there isn't a love potion or super secret trick that you can use to make someone fall in love with you, because that would be a bad thing, you can create opportunities that prioritize connection. So now, yes, you're intentional about making this connection and making it work. How does that work? How does that look? Sommerfeld suggests that love requires vulnerability and authenticity. I'll come back to that. It's not just about spending time together. It's about spending quality time together and having those connections that help you learn their future plans, their interests, likes, dislikes, and expectations they may have for a long-term relationship. Let me touch on vulnerability for a moment. Well, let me say this first before I do that. Forcing it to work will never make it work. We must focus on creating a connection with our partner based on trust and openness rather than forcing feelings or progression. This is according to Sommerfeld. Now, as it relates to vulnerability, let me share some Stew's thoughts. So, something out of the Kevin Stew pot. Vulnerability, whereas some people see it as a weakness, is one of human beings' greatest strengths. As it relates to how we relate to one another, being able to open yourself up to being hurt. Basically, you're giving someone else all the ammunition that they need to really cripple you. That is being vulnerable. And it requires quite a bit of trust. But guess what? It also says, I am willing to open up to you. And so here comes that vulnerability and that willingness to share of self, which is required in this loving relationship. And if you're not being vulnerable with your partner, then why are you in this relationship? Is that love that you're experiencing? And it does require that authenticity. This is another part that causes problems, because we idealize what our relationship should look like and idealize our partners. And so the idea of them being there comes into play. And so for one or both parties to be in that relationship, they say, all right, this is what this person would be expecting or should be expecting. And so they put on that persona. They're not their authentic selves. So the vulnerability and the authenticity kind of go hand in hand and interlocking to create who you are in reality. And I just got a message. There's no timeline when you love someone. So it is either it can happen quickly, it can take a long time. Thank you for sharing that. And so as it relates to vulnerability and authenticity, they go hand in hand for me. Let me be my authentic self with you, running the risk of you rejecting me. That's basically what it boils down to. And when you can get to that place, you know that you recognize your true self because you've taken the time to do that self-work. So you can, you know for a fact that you are presenting your authentic self. And when you can do so confidently, understanding that the other person may not accept you, then you can truly love. That's how I feel about it. No, I don't have a DR before my name. If you check me out, it's a DJ. So you don't have to take my word for it, but you can go and talk to some of these DRs and see what they say. You can listen to some of the information that I'm presenting from some of these DRs and take that and apply that. At the end of the day, though, you are your own DR. So what is it that you're truly saying to yourself? Where's the truth in what you're presenting? Are you telling yourself a lie, making that your truth and building on that? Now, if you do that, understand, when those house of cards come crashing down, they're only crashing down on you. Can you manage that? One of the most difficult experiences I've had in my life was being my authentic self to someone very close to me. And I say it was one of the most difficult things, because a little bit more difficult than that was recognizing and being authentic to myself. Because I knew that at that point, I then had to be authentic to the person who was closest, or the persons closest to me. From that point moving forward. Whatever happened in the past, I can't change. But whatever is to come, I'm well in control of. And that was the real challenge. So now I had to recognize that I am going to love me. And anybody that think that they're going to be giving their love to someone else and they don't know how to love themselves, understand this: you cannot give from an empty cup. So if you don't know how to love yourself and don't know how to feel that love for yourself, and I'm not talking about being conceited, I'm not talking about being self-centered or self-absorbed. I'm talking about really and truly caring about yourself and knowing that this is something that you can share with others, and then truly do so. Because at the end of the day, you know, you're telling somebody a lie. You're presenting a persona to someone that isn't you. Then you have to lie to yourself to make it convincing to them. So, yes, you may hurt them, but think about what you're doing to yourself. You're hurting yourself more. So, if it's a matter that you need to take a moment and then learn to love yourself, that's definitely something that you should look into. Because that's a real thing. And it's a necessary thing. Forcing it to work will never make it work. And this is what happens when you present that persona. So, if you want to fall in love, is there a short way to do it? Is there a foolproof way to it? Well, there are no shortcuts, first off. Just like you can't really force someone to fall in love with you, love requires time to build. Time to have an authentic connection. And every person has their own unique experience when it comes to falling in love. And Sommerfeld says that it's all about how long it takes you to let your guard down. That part. One person may be able to build feelings of love and intimacy faster than another. And that's okay. When it comes to lasting love, slow and steady often wins the race. Well, slow and steady as it is in whose book? Because again, it's an individual thing. The best shortcuts you're gonna get from Summerfield is to the good old fashioned advice. Make time to learn each other. Be open and emotionally available. And hold on to your own identity and sense of self. That's that love that you need to experience before you can share it with anybody else. Now, there's the other issue. Saying the I love you phrase, but not really being there. And many people have done it. Not to say that they're so wrong and evil, but it happens. Thinking about what you have learned about falling in love up to this point tells you that everyone's experience is different. Maybe your partner had an easier time letting down that emotional wall. However, they went about falling in love with you. It's important to respond in a way that highlights your appreciation for the relationship and minimize discomfort, according to Summerfield. And she also says you could respond about your feelings of romance and affection toward your partner and reinforce your continued partnership and growing feelings if you're not quite there yet. And you could try that by letting them know that you're grateful for them. You know, you use those words, I'm so grateful for you. I'm grateful for this relationship. The time that we spend together means a lot to me. Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing your feelings with me. I don't take it for granted. Let them know that you recognize that you're lucky to have another person understand how special you are and fall in love with you. Now, if you're feeling it, go ahead and share it. Let them know how important they are to you also. Let them know how you're feeling about them. Even if you're not ready to say, I love you, let them know that they make a difference in your life. Let them know that they're important. Expressing how grateful you are toward their partner, their vulnerability and sharing their feelings and your thankfulness about them and your relationship can be a critical statement. Should there be a concern about falling in love too quickly, though? Those lovely, lovey-dovey brain chemicals that we experience, these are designed to motivate you to take action to seek an unmet need, according to Bruning. And once that need is met, those chemicals are no longer stimulated. Now, this is a danger. This is the fine line that you walk with expressing that feeling for the first time. Whether you're going to express it verbally or you're going to express it physically. That first time, you run that risk of never feeling those feelings again. In my book, if you continue to feel those feelings, then you know it's real. Is it a big deal if you don't feel those feelings anymore? Well, it could be. So, your brain says you found the one. For some, the answer may be to the what next question, that is. It may be to continue searching and chasing that high, that emotional or that physical cheating that may come into play. For others, the end result might just be the feeling of love fading sooner than they anticipated. Sad, isn't it? Another potential snag here is, and this happens especially in this modern age of social media, this is a tendency to compare your partner and your relationship to others. once that initial excitement has worn off, here comes the comparisons. Your partner might have 500 good qualities, but your brain will focus on the 10 that they don't have, or the 5 that they don't have. Often missing the big picture, focusing on some little insignificant thing. Then you might have the common thoughts like, what does everyone think of my partner? Or what romantic dates do other people's partners take them on? These are threatening. They give you a grass is greener mentality, even when you're with a solid and worthy partner. You put yourself in a position to lose all that. For what? So, what do? After you fall in love, you enjoy it. You live in it. You bask in it. And remember that your brain will soon want a new dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin hit. Try not to fall into the trap of comparisons. Remind yourself why you went for your partner in the first place. And don't forget to go after goals that drive you, like a higher position at work or a new athletic personal best. Because your happiness shouldn't depend on someone else. And if you fall in love, making that the goal for them to make you happy, then you're going to look for that new high. And you're going to look for it quickly. And keeping that in mind will help to ensure that those heart-eyed emoji feelings stay put and create this your personal happily ever after. No matter how quickly or not you may actually fall in love, if at all. And so, recognize where you are. Recognize what you're experiencing. Accept it for what it is. Share it authentically from a place of vulnerability. And watch life as you know it transform. Because it will. So, is there a timeline to love? Is there a timeline to fall in love? It is whatever or however it happens for you. Whenever it happens. There's no one size fits all. There's no timeline that you should follow. No schedule. No playbook. Just be. And be authentically. And let your experience happen. Just let it happen. This is music from Kovan, kicking off musical therapy. It's called You Make Me Right.
You are the melody to my song, my favorite chord on my guitar. You're my warmth on a cold night. This song is my appreciation for your love. 'Cause maybe I don't say it enough, but woman, you make me strong. You light up my life. Your voice is my song. You make me right. You make me right. For you give me every day. No question asked. You make me right. I wanna thank you every day. The rocky road with you's fine. Girl, I'm well because I know you're mine. Give me your smile is everything. Baby, you're the beat that makes my heart, you make my heart sing. Cause maybe I don't say it enough, but woman, you make me strong. You light up my life, and your voice is my song. And maybe I don't show it enough, but you taught me love, you showed me love. Ooh, you make me right. You make me right. Boy, you give me every day the questions you make me right. I wanna thank you each and every day. Pas qu'un jour passé, partir, merci. Pas qu'un jour passé, partir, moi les miens. Pas qu'on se la vie taillée, c'est pas gagné, moi vrai. Où c'est bénédiction, toute belle chanter l'amour. C'est où t'es café, c'est où sont les mois. Musique, moi, la vie, moi. C'est où Haïti pour moi, chérie. C'est où Haïti. You make me right. For all you give me every day, the questions you make me right. I wanna thank you each and every day.
This is music from Chavez.
I wanna share your life.
The JC Lodge classic, Someone Loves You, Honey.
And I want you to know, whatever you do and wherever you go, remember someone loves you, honey. No matter what, I just want you to be my guy. Someone loves you, honey, more than anything in the world. I'm so glad I'm the one that you come to when you need someone. Yeah, that's what my love is for. It's a shoulder to lean on. I've broken the spot. Someone loves you, honey. No matter what, I just want you to be my guy. Someone loves you, honey, more than anything in the world. I love you, baby.
I just want to say Chavez will be performing live this Saturday at Life is a Gift, band's birthday celebration. It's a free event happening at the luxurious banquet hall down in Lauderhill, 3500 15th Street in Lauderhill. Doors open at 8 p.m. It's a GMAC Music presentation. Getting a little tongue-tied there. We're gonna have DJing by DJ Fettuccine. Live music backed by the Rhythms of the Hearts band. Along with Chevy, there'll be Ed Robinson, Michael Russell, and Lacey Soul. I hope I get to see y'all there. His rendition of Kissing You.
This time together we must spend, holding you close, taking time to let you know. Tonight's the night we will share. Turn off the lights, come close to me. Tell me I'm all you ever need. Tell me it's not just a dream. And if it is, my heart believes that you are mine, and this is real. Loving you all through the night. Share my love. It will be alright. Together, kissing you. Loving you all through the night. Share my love. It will be alright, yeah. What's better than a love that's made for two? I cannot count the ways I feel for you, but you should know, and starting from today, from this point on, my love is here to stay. Lie close to me, hold on, let's make love all night long. Baby, I'm yours, take all of me. I'll never try to bring you down. My love will always be around. Yes, I'm convinced you're all I need. Kissing you, loving you all through the night. Share my love. Tonight is our night. Together, kissing you, loving you all through the night. Share my love. It will be alright. Together, kissing you, loving you all through the night. Share my love. Tonight is our night. Together, it's too much pressure. Just bring your love on in. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I know I've never been this way before. I
The
can't
son of Glenn Washington.
myself wanting.
Track called Bring Your Love On In.
And even though we are rich and from different worlds, I can't control this thing I feel. I want you for my girl. And I know I always need the best things out of life. I visualize myself with 2 kids and wife. Heaven must have sent you here. You mean the world to me. You've got the kind of love I need to set my spirit free. 'Cause when we feel it's too much pressure, just bring your love on in. Oh yeah, oh yeah. When we feel it's bubbling over, trust hold you down. Just let me get inside, my love. We'll always be around. Girl, you know I love you down to the very ground. Got no time for someone else. This love is stable and sound. And every woman that I see got something new for me. There is no other to compare. You are my destiny. Take a look into yourself and tell me what you see. You see a place of perfectness reserved for you and me. But when we feel it's too much pressure, oh yeah, yes, when we feel it's bubbling over, do it, baby, yes, when we
go for it. Don't let your feelings stop you, baby, just go, baby, go for it. Doesn't matter what they say about you, just go, baby, go. You've lost that smile and gained some sleepless nights. It's just for a while, then things will turn out right. Take my hand, I just want to be the man to take you back to reality and fulfill all your fantasy. 'Cause lady, I know you're tired of hearing the same old lies about how much they need you. And lady, I know this time you're gonna make up your mind, 'cause it's all about you. So go for it. Don't let your feelings stop you, baby, just go, baby, go for it. Doesn't matter what they say about you, just go, baby, go.
compliments to you and the way you love.
Giving you an Ed Robinson double play.
Wonder where you've been.
This is All My Life. Before this we heard Go For It.
Or I'm a dreamer, or I'm just hypnotized. Baby, the moment I laid my eyes on you, I just knew you were the one for me. I'm so thankful that we're no longer strangers.
Providing supporting vocals.
You mean the world to me.
His wife, Miss Joanna Marie.
All my life, now that I found you, baby, will you stay for life where I keep it, girl? All my life, won't you?
This is Joanna Marie, and it's all about DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift. You feel for some stews? Check out Kevin Stew.
I'm no good for you.
No good for you.
They can't believe it's true. I'm with you. Yeah. What they don't know is the way I feel about you. And the way that you're loving me too. Where I can get, girl, all my life. Now that I found you, baby, will you stay for life? Where I can get, girl, hey baby, all my life. Won't you please stay with me?
The scent of your sweet perfume.
This is music from Lee Kelly. You can catch him working out at the D.Was Band every third Saturday.
Don't lose focus.
down by the Dania Beach Casino.
I can do magic.
This track is called Magic.
One snap of a finger, girl, I perform a trick on you. Anything you want me to do, I can do magic. Girl, all you gotta do is dim the lights. I perform a trick or two, baby. 'Cause I can do magic. I ain't no psychic, but I know just what you need, girl. You don't have to write it. Just looking at your body, I can't read, yeah. You're giving me the eye, and it's making me want you back, girl. Turn around, and guess what's in my hand? One snap of a finger, girl, I'll perform a trick on you. Anything you want me to do, yeah. Magic. All you gotta do is in the light, baby. I can do magic. I make your home disappear out of nowhere. There's a rule of peace. It's in your nose, you and me. Ooh, baby girl, spill me. See what I'm about to do. Yeah. Wishes come through. All right. My hand, there goes your toe. This is something you should know. One snap of a finger, girl, I'll perform a trick on you. Anything you want me to do, yeah. Magic. All you gotta do is in the light, baby. I can do magic.
From the first time I saw you, I knew that there was something about you. Yes, I wanna be with you all the days of my life.
This is music from Neri.
And I needed to understand.
It's called Loving You.
With you. I know that you've heard it all, and I know that you've seen it all. But I ain't like the other guys who comes to you with the funny games now. Pretty girl, I wanna own your heart. Fell in love with you from the start. This ain't no crazy game, 'cause I'm in love with you. Hey, yeah, yeah. Love with you. Love, girl, I'm in love with you. Pretty girl, yeah. Love with you. Love, girl, I'm in love with you. Pretty girl, yeah. This I love I have for you. It is no plaything. Love you in the morning, in the daytime, in the evening. Love you when the clock goes tick-tock. Comfortable in my arms when you kick back. Can you make me come alive when you do that pretty smile? It takes my mind to heaven. Wanna wrap you in my arms and charm you with my charm, yeah. I want to run, come to me, baby. Girl, I'm in love with you. Come to me, pretty girl. Run, come to me. So I want to run, come to me, baby. Girl, I'm in love with you. Come to me, sweet girl. Run, come to me. I said that I will never, ever break your heart. Trust and love and respect. I mean, say I will never, ever let you down. I said I promise I will always be around. I said that I will never, ever break your heart. Trust and love and respect. And girl, I promise I will always be around. And I will never, ever, ever let you down.
The sound of Neri bringing us out from, or I should say, closing out this night shift edition of Real Talk. Or Real Talk edition of Night Shift.
Love you in the morning, in the daytime.
I want to thank you each and everyone for locking in. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for listening.
You make me come alive when you do the prettiest.
As we part company, I want to remind you to look up for members of your community. Remember, your community is not just a development that you live in, but it spreads far and wide. So those that you pass on the bus, on the plane, the boat, or the train, whether you walk, ride, or drive, these are members of your community. Do something good for one of them today, because you never know who's going to do something good for you tomorrow. My name is Kevin Stew. This is how I like to do it to you, for you, and with you. Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays right here, kevinstew.com. It's called The Night Shift. On Saturdays, 8 p.m. It's called The Saturday Stew on Reggae Global Radio. All being well, I see you guys at the event Life is a Gift. Earth Day celebration for Dan.
I said I promise I will always be around.
Happening at the luxurious ballroom, that luxurious banquet hall in Northern Hill. Good morning, good afternoon, good day to you wherever you are in the world. From right here in South Florida, I bid you all a good night. Take care, be good. If you can't be good at it. I'm out of here. Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune in to The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.